Hey there, people out there on the internet. I just want to remind people of where we are in history. For about a year now, we've been in a civil war. If you think about it, Trump economically sanctioning states and cities that don't comply with his wishes is economic warfare. ICE is nothing more than an unchecked paramilitary organization that does the bidding of the President of the United States. The legal mechanisms inside their own organization that's supposed to be holding them accountable, investigating them if they, hurt someone or use excessive force, and there needs to be some sort of legal remedy, those people have been defunded and pretty much gutted out of the organization. So they're wearing masks, breaking into people's houses, shooting people, doing crowd control, quote, detaining people, but it's just extrajudicial killings, extrajudicial violence, extrajudicial murder, execution, whatever word you want to use. But yeah, so in the first year of a year and a couple days or whatever of Trump's presidency, you literally have this paramilitary organization that wear masks. They can do all these things to the American people, and there's 3,000 of them. They're claiming they're going to send another 1,000 into Minnesota. Portland Police Bureau officers here where I live, there's only about less than 50 patrolling the city at any given time. So our police force can be outnumbered to the point to where they just don't even exist by these people. The first Civil War in the United States, one side claimed legitimacy of the government. That was the Union, and they had all the backing of the U.S. legal system, U.S. Army, and the other side was the ones rebelling. Of course, the South lost, and of course, the South had the shit kicked out of them, and they were the ones in the wrong. Slavery was horrible. To treat human beings like beasts of burden and chattel to be thrown away like an economic resource is one of the greatest sins mankind can do to one another. But history is written by the victor. Right now, there's a civil war being fought against you. If you are not extremely right-wing and in support of ICE doing what it wants, they're talking about, Kristi Noem is on TV now, or on my news feed, talking about how ICE can now ID people and require citizenship. So your papers, please, your papers, please. They're talking about ICE putting drones up in the sky. Okay, what's going on right now is incrementalism. You are slowly being conditioned to find this normal. Just hearing, another news story of ICE shooting someone. Another news story of someone getting blinded at a protest by less lethal weapons. Another news story about pepper spraying. Another news story about ICE ramming somebody with a car. Another news story about people dying in ICE custody. And on it goes. But slowly, over time, we've gone from people being mad that ICE have to wear masks to people being upset and distraught and in the streets about ICE gunning down innocent women, turning away from them. Okay, this is ridiculous. You could clearly see in that video, she was turning her wheel away from the ICE officer. And it turns out the autopsy came. She was shot in the chest and in the head. 4 shots. Murdered. This is a civil war. Seems like the only people that are resisting are the protesters out in the streets, and they usually are only putting up resistance when they're being attacked by ICE. So, as far as I can see, all these protests that I've seen is self-defense. Like, protesters aren't showing up with, 9mm pistols, M4 rifles, submachine guns, less lethal, impact munitions, FN 303s, spin stabilized foam batons, flashbang grenades, sting ball grenades, those low roll multi banger less lethal devices. What else are these guys using? They're using tasers. They're coming out with toxic green smoke that's been banned by the U.S. military. Google that stuff. Green smoke used at protests is laden with heavy metals. But yeah, these guys just invaded a city, and you're watching that play out. You're watching what that looks like. And they drew first blood. They've already shot and killed one person and wounded another. I believe the Trump administration will continue hyper-militarizing ICE, continue with its rhetoric, continue swelling their ranks until there is mass violence in the streets. So that's what's coming. So you can bury your head in the sand if you like, but the United States is in the middle of the first stages of a civil war. I wish that what I believe is happening wasn't happening. I fear for the violence, for the mass death that's going to happen. And I hope that there's some peaceful way to resolve this. Maybe the midterm elections, maybe some sort of a general strike. I have an idea. Like, Trump is literally stealing the entitlements, because if Congress allocates money to be spent on the American people, Congress that the people voted for, that money, that's an entitlement. The American people are entitled to those funds. So, why are people paying taxes? Why are you paying taxes if the government is stealing the money that's been allocated for services that your elected representatives voted and approved to be used? That's just an idea. Thanks for watching, guys, and be safe out there.